Hello and welcome to this very important Women's World Cup match between India and South Africa. We should have been telling you the toss update, what has happened. But unfortunately in Vizag, as we had even mentioned in the morning, rain will play a part and has already played a part. Toss has been delayed. But the good news is that the covers are being removed. They had already covered the whole ground in anticipation for the weather that was there. So that's why 15 minutes, the toss has been delayed. You'll have an inspection at 2:45 with a resumption time mostly around 3 o'clock when you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, see, we all knew for a while that rain was going to play a part today. It's been that way in Visakhapatnam for days now, really. The rain gods have not been kind to the city. And so we always knew that this was going to be an issue. Unfortunate for us, really, that, I mean, much like the opening match, which was in Guwahati, even there in the Barsapara Stadium, you ended up having a fair bit of rain, a good chunk of delay. Now, you're potentially going to not get too much of a delay here. I think you should be up and about because what you can see, the live visuals on television do look fairly promising. They did cover the strip. So I think by 2:45, we'll have a clearer idea on things. But I mean, the weather seems to have cleared up for now. Fingers crossed we get at least close to complete match.
You might get a complete game because see, the weather was bad for the afternoon period, morning afternoon period. Evening, it has improved. So that is why you will not see that many interruptions at this point in time. This was, I think, probably, hopefully the last interruption that we've had, because in Barsapara, rain did not interrupt the start. It interrupted the end of the India innings. And then interrupted even, I think, during the Sri Lanka innings as well when it came about. So, see, basically 8:30 is the period when we have to look up to, because if you don't get a single ball bowled, the toss doesn't happen. 8:30 p.m. is the cutoff time for a T20I. So that is why this is going to be a very, very important period. But I think the worst of the rain has now gone behind. I think you're not going to see any particular issues for the India versus South Africa. You remember, huge encounter considering that England and Australia have all gotten off to winning starts. England managed to beat Bangladesh. But Australia, what a performance yesterday. I mean, a champion team under the pump, a champion mentality. Look at it. They have won 3 out of 3 games. They won 2 with 1 washed out against Sri Lanka. So it's a vital game. Now India are in the Sena stretch.
Yeah, in fact, it's exactly that. You can call it in some ways, sane stretch, because that's the order you'll be playing. South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and then England, or something like that. I'm not sure of the...
SAEN.
Yes, England first, then New Zealand. So these are the next 4 games, really, are the crucial matches. And in fact, if you go back in time, 2022, you ended up losing to all 4 of these teams.
Correct.
And that is what ended up pretty much dooming your hopes of making it to the next round. So that is really key for India. I think you need to be winning at least 3 of these matches to really put yourself in contention. If you do that, then you're potentially in with a chance of, not just progressing, which should be the aim, but also establishing yourselves as favorites in home conditions. You've not had great start, to be honest, in terms of performance. Both games your top order has failed. The good news is that you've still managed to win those 2 games. So assuming your top order clicks into place, your middle order and lower order has looked very, very solid. But now comes the real test, the next 4 games. And India do have a good schedule, because they've got South Africa today, thereafter you've got Australia on Sunday, but after that you've got another week's break.
Yeah.
Because after that there's a whole week, and then they'll play England. So they have a week's break there. Advantage, sure, but they also need to make that advantage count. And Australia, I think, will be the match that everyone's got eyes on. We know the Southern Stars are the standard bearers when it comes to this sport. In the women's sport side of things, they're definitely the standard bearers. So that now is the key time. You need to make that impact. And South Africa can be tricky customers.
Although last 5 ODIs, when you look at it, India have won it very comprehensively.
Yes.
And they have got a winning percentage of 20-12 head-to-head when you look at it. India 20, South Africa 12. But remember, in the last World Cup encounter in 2022, South Africa just managed to cross the line. Deepti Sharma bowling that no ball, which cost them that particular game in a big, big way. So the Sena stretch is starting for India, and this is huge because if they can beat South Africa, Australia, if you push them, then okay. Because see, basically 5 teams are battling out for 4 spots in this ODI World Cup. But one of the 5 teams has had a disastrous start. New Zealand.
Yeah.
New Zealand have lost to South Africa. They have also suffered in a big way. So that's why
even South Africa have had a mixed start. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were pretty poor against England.
69 all out.
Yeah. So that was not a great game. So I think South Africa also right now very much a team in something of a transition, not quite been able to replace some of their older players.
Yeah, although Tasnim Brits, I mean, look at it, 5 centuries in a year. She's the first ever to have done it. She had a century against New Zealand, had that celebration which kind of, I don't know why it resulted in some chatter on social media. I don't know why. I mean, even Mahesh Theekshana does it. What is the big deal about that? And okay, maybe copied, but fine. No problem. Yeah. I don't know. Apart from Ronaldo's CU, which is the most genuine or patented celebration that I've ever had.
Exactly. There's very few.
Although, I don't know, maybe Ronaldo's also could have been copied.
I mean, see, maybe he saw someone do this and then added the spin. You never know. You never know. You never really know.
Exactly. So that is why South Africa might be tricky opponents, but in the World Cup, India did lose to them in 2022.
Yeah.
So that's why they can't afford to take this game very seriously, very lightly. Sorry. If they lose this, then the likes of New Zealand and maybe 1 or 2 of the minnows might get
a bit of a boost. Yeah, that's the key.
But if India win, then they go right on top. Because they'll be on 6, Australia will be on 5, England will be on 4. But India have played a game more in that sense. And South Africa, if they win, then it gets really, really cluttered at the top.
Yeah, because then you've got 4 teams really who will have gotten a minimum of 4 points. And
1 point is separating the top 4.
Exactly. That is where things get really tricky when it comes to the numbers, permutations, combinations. So that is really where, things could get interesting. Of course, I do think India would be the favourites going into this particular match. They'd see themselves as the favourites. Although I think the big concern, which I mentioned before, that top order needs to fire.
Yeah, I mean Smriti and Harmanpreet, they average over 50 against South Africa. Smriti in particular, in the last ODI series that they played against each other, I think it was in Bengaluru if I'm not mistaken, she was absolutely dominating the South African pacers. Correct. And that's why you've got some star power in that. You got Marizanne Kapp, who's one of the most experienced South Africa pacers. So it'll all boil down to Kapp versus Smriti. So it's not going to be simple for this, and that too with slight cloud cover, a bit of moisture. But it is quite hot in Vizag. So that's why, there'll be an inspection at 2:45, which is about 4 minutes time. And then hopefully we'll get to know the resumption of that. I think most of the ground, the covers have been removed. And there is only one small patch, but that is beyond the boundary. So I don't think that is a big concern. Yeah, will India make some changes? That we have to see. Will Amanjot come in? Will one spinner be dropped?
Yeah, I mean, considering the circumstances, you might want to actually go with the spinner less. Amanjot could be a very good option in that regard then. So I think, they need to make some changes. And in that regard, the one person whose eyes will really be on, assuming India gets the ball first, Renuka Singh Thakur.
Yeah, and Kranti Gaud.
Yes.
Kranti Gaud has outshone Renuka Singh Thakur for wickets because, see, Renuka might be economical, but Kranti has taken the wickets first up with a swing, and she has been the star ever since the England tour.
Yeah, I think Renuka's obviously had that long injury layoff as well. Her fitness just before the World Cup in itself is kind of sort of touch and go. You didn't know whether she'd be able to get fit just before the World Cup or in time for the World Cup. It was a bit, hit or miss. So the fact that she's even playing major relief, because again, she is probably your best new ball bowler. Kranti has done well in recent times, but Renuka does have the experience of even playing major tournaments. Yeah, so that being said, I think India would perhaps want a third pacer. You might make that change. You could potentially want to do that, because I do think that the last 2 games was predicated on being a little bit spin heavy.
Spin heavy, yeah. Although, see, South Africa have a problem when it comes to left arm spin. So, is there a temptation that maybe I might maybe boost up my think by removing maybe a Sneh Rana and getting in a Radha Yadav.
Could be.
But Sneh Rana has a fantastic record against South Africa.
Exactly. So you might not be tempted to make that change.
Deepthi, Sneh, Sri Charani have all been there. Sri Charani's been good. She's also a left arm spinner, but
Yeah. I think Sri Charani might be the obvious change if they want to make a
dropping
change.
her in her home turf. Ouch.
I mean, ouch, yeah, but I mean, are you going to drop either of the all-rounders?
Yeah.
You're not. You can't. Because they are very valuable contributors with both bat and ball.
Correct.
So if you have to make any change, it will probably have to be Sri Charani for an Amanjot. If.
Because you have not even picked your best. I mean, in the past also, she's been quite decent. You haven't picked Arundhati Reddy.
Exactly.
In both the games. And I don't think she might play because either Renuka misses out, which you can't. She's your most experienced. Kranti has been your best. So, will they want to exploit South Africa's weakness against left-arm spin and boost their spin bowling lineup, especially left-arm? Because you do have a Radha.
Yeah.
Radha Yadav's
on
there.
the bench.
And the advantage of getting in a Radha, my fielding improves.
Yes.
But with Sri Charani, my fielding doesn't improve because you saw in the game against Pakistan, she had some very poor lapses on the field. So that is why dropping her in front of her home crowd, I would not want to take the risk. But what to do? I want to boost my fielding. My fielding let me down in the game against Pakistan to a certain extent. And that's why a Radha Yadav might go the distance in that. But then if you look at the South Africa batting, wow, that's also quite good. You got Tasmin Brits, you got Marizanne, you got Chloe Tryron, Nadine de Klerk, Laura Wolvaardt.
It's very surprising that this team has looked as vulnerable as they have. Particularly against England, they looked all at sea. In 69 all out, was it?
Yeah, 69.
Yeah, terrible. You'd not expect that because this batting lineup does have some more than decent players. So you'd expect them to put up something of a fight. Either it was just a really off day for them, either England were just unbeatable that day, a combination of both, who knows. But yeah, I think, having looked at the side, it's definitely a lot stronger on paper than they have looked on the field, which can go two ways. Yeah. Either it means that the team is a little bit of hype. Either it means that the team hasn't quite shown their promise and potential so far. Both are very much distinct possibilities. Is this the day that they finally actually come to the party? Because I remember, and I'll tell you this, I was having this fear yesterday when watching the Australia-Pakistan match. I was hoping and praying that somehow Australia turn things around because I did not want a situation where they've gotten a jolt just before the India game and then the next match is against India and that is the game that they decide, no. We are going to, be full business end and then you'd be on the end of a whipping.
Although I think they have gotten the wake-up call.
Yeah, either which way they've gotten the wake-up call. But imagine if they lost.
Oh.
Then you would have been doomed.
Doomed. I mean, not... See, you did have some fears. 76 for 7.
Exactly.
And you just had Beth Mooney. But you had the Beth Mooney turn up and ensure that she had a 106 run stand with Alana King for the 10th wicket.
And imagine, this is a Beth Mooney who went against pretty much every instinct of her normally. She comes in deep, laid down in the order and is pretty much there to just give some flashes, lusty blows. Ended up playing a fantastic batting innings, pieced together with the number 10 in Alana King, rebuilt the innings, gave them a more than competitive role. Once it crossed 200, I'm like, boss, Pakistan ain't doing anything.
I think Pakistan never chased 200 against both India and Australia, ever. Yeah. So it's now 17-0 in the ODIs, 16-0 in T20Is. And I think last 24 games in the World Cup, I think it's 123 for Pakistan. They have won only one game and have lost 23.
Imagine if that had to be their second win had to come yesterday of all games.
Against Australia. It would have been like a Richter scale 10 on the charts.
True David versus Goliath moment.
Exactly. But now luckily that isn't there. So Australia-Sri Lanka sojourn is over. It is now going to be all in India at this stage.
Yeah, I think barring the Pakistan games though, right? They won't be playing.
Sri Lanka, they played in this thing that got rained out.
Yeah.
Australia will play against India now and they will take on their Ashes foes also, I think, in India. So I think that is the thing. And we saw some of the last covers towards the extra cover and region just get...
I mean, the inspection I think is already underway because we're 2 minutes past the time which was given to us. So let's wait and watch and see what exactly turns up. Right now, the broadcasters are busy showing some interesting promotional stuff. And I think, truth be told, a lot of eyes are going to be on the person who's on our screen, Smriti Mandhana.
Yep. She's, I think, only about 41 runs away, 41 runs away from, I think, getting to 1,000 runs in a calendar year.
Yeah, so she needs 12 runs, I think, or just 12 runs to beat the record, which is Belinda Clark's record set, I think, in 97.
Yeah.
So if she gets just 12 runs today, she's broken that record, most runs in a calendar year. 30 odd runs to get to 1,000 and 81 runs away from doing something that only Mithali Raj has done in India colours, 5,000 runs in ODIs.
Nice.
So there's a lot of landmarks really staring at her face, and I really hope that today would be the day she gets that form back, because when she's on song, she just makes it much easier for the rest of the batting lineup.
And talking about Mithali Raj, she's going to get a stand named after her at the ADA VDCA Stadium that's there in Vizag, fitting honor. And I think she and one more individual will get honored. She didn't have that illustrious of a career with Mithali. She just played about 7 ODIs in 15-16. But she's responsible for paving the way in Andhra Pradesh for other cricketers in that sense. So I think that's where the match referees are going to be. I think the match referees talking with Laura and Harmanpreet, informing them about the start name. I think we could have a resumption.
Yeah, we'll have some update on potentially what exactly the situation is, because again, now you'll know when we can expect the toss. I don't see there being a major problem in terms of, the rain is gone. I think they're clearing up the ground nicely.
Yeah. They covered the whole ground. That is the best part about it. They covered the whole ground looking at it, and that is why it's a good thing. You learnt your lessons from past encounters. Cover the whole ground. If you have the facility, cover the whole ground.
I mean, that's something that, I think should just be done everywhere.
Except Bangalore. Don't do it there.
Yeah, because there you have that awesome drainage system. Yeah. So there you don't really need to worry.
But look at that. 53, 906 runs with 300s and 550s. That is Smriti Mandhana for you at this stage. So
yeah, see, the discussion is still ongoing with the match referees.
A bit of sun. So yes, the sun is out in Vizag at this point in time.
Fingers crossed, that's a very good sign going forward, that we don't have too many delays today, because I think that, there's a bit of sun as well. But there's a prediction for rain till about 6 p.m. So let's see if that really turns up. 6 p.m. is about 3 odd hours away.
No. I think now the worst of the rain is behind us. I mean, it poured in the morning, it poured in the afternoon. Until this time, there was a drizzle until 2 o'clock, by the way, but then it's gone now. And you're going to see clear cut. You're seeing all the players also warming up. And I think we could have a start announcement anytime soon. Maybe my best estimators could happen by 3-5, the toss. The toss will happen at 3-5. Your innings break could be reduced slightly.
Yeah.
Your innings break. But I hope, surprisingly, in this World Cup, your over rates have been abysmal.
Yeah, considering you have a lot of spinners in your teams, it's very surprising. Very, very surprising.
They're showing those encounters in Bengaluru where she absolutely decimated the South Africans, and I think she notched about 200s, if I'm not mistaken, in that 3-match series. Same like what she did against Australia. So, yeah. That's the knock that we are talking about, where it started her golden run in 2025.
It's been a crazy good year for her. Yeah. I just hope that she's not tapering off now, and I really hope she can get back to that, because God knows if India needs to win the World Cup, then you'll need Smriti at her best. Simple as.
Correct. So, as you said, 81 runs away from 5,000 ODI runs. Wow, what an honor it will be to join Mithali. I think there are only 4-5 people, right, who've joined.
I don't think there's too many people who've gotten to that milestone.
Yeah.
So if she's only the second Indian, that in itself tells you everything.
Correct. I think Charlotte Edwards, think was the leading before Mithali got past her. Then I think Meg Lanning. Perhaps.
We'll have to check.
Yeah. So basically, that is the way, and we are seeing the players also now come out in the middle. The Indian players are also there. And is that Sri Charani? I think that is.
Yes, that looks like her.
That is Sri Charani at this stage. So Arundhati Reddy also not probably getting a game, and that's why the wait continues. We don't have. I think there is an update maybe on X. I'll just check.
Keep an eye, because as of now, even I don't have any major updates in terms of this we don't have a start time as of now. We don't have a toss time. We have nothing. The inspection we know is done because we saw the match officials actually have a conversation with both the captains, but we don't know anything beyond that as of now. So stick with us still, guys.
Yep. So we'll
The
take a
good
bit
news-
of comments before we. She's number 5 on the list.
Oh,
Okay. 7, 8, 9, 1. Yeah. Charlotte
Edwards.
Bates, Susie Bates.
Susie Bates, of course.
Taylor.
So she's already top 5. That's impressive.
Oof.
Very impressive.
Yep.
And shows how prolific she has been because her career for taking off has actually only been a few years.
17.
Exactly.
The 2 knocks that she hit, 106 and 90 against England and West Indies, if I'm not mistaken. 2017, she... Oh, but there is another inspection at 310.
Oh dear. So 15 more minutes, guys. You'll have to bear with us for another inspection. Oh, look.
Oh, maybe that there is a patch probably that was unprotected. Oh. So what we'll do is, I think once the 310 inspection is done, we'll join you live for that. I think we'll have another live because... Yeah, because that time I think we'll get a thing on what time will be the toss. 16 minutes from now. So we'll end the stream. We'll come back to you.
Yeah, guys, join us for that.
After we get confirmation about what is the toss time and everything. So frustrating. I think there is one patch then which has ensured that the toss is delayed even further. So bye-bye, folks. See you soon. Hopefully we get an update on the toss and we get an update on the team sheet as and when it happens.
Join us in a few minutes.
Join us. Yeah.